So I was thinking about something, and this is the Holy Week. If you're watching this on a Sunday, you already know it's Palm Sunday. But it's so important to remember that God is a God of the supernatural, the God of the impossible. Because this is a time period of Passover. Now, many of you would call it Easter, and I'm not going to crucify people for calling it Easter either. I'm not going to go like, oh, you're telling your kids go look for Easter bunnies and stuff like that. Listen, you must use your discernment, you must raise your children, whatever. Um, but for me, I call it Passover because that's what the Bible calls it, and it's a very holy time. It's not about Easter bunnies and stuff like that. It is about the sacrifice that was made. If you're a Christian, this is a time period where you meditate on the goodness, the holiness, the sacrifice, the the love of God. It's just so many things to just take and just meditate on. And sometimes if you have trouble just quieting down things, I think going on a time period where you fast will help a lot. But I just remember that, in the Bible it talks about how I mentioned this the last video, where Moses was leading the people out, of slavery, and they were coming out of Egypt, and there was Pharaoh's army there, and there was the Red Sea, and they were literally caught between a rock and a hard place. And God split the sea open for them to cross over. It was a literal Passover. And, that was the supernatural. That was the natural and the supernatural converging. So if you feel like you're in a situation where things look impossible, which this time period usually in April is a little bit of a tough time. This is usually, in fact, where a lot of people go through transitions. People maybe leave relationships, begin new relationships, or maybe you're leaving a job. Maybe God is telling you that you need to leave something and go full time into ministry. Maybe God is telling you to write a book. Maybe God is telling you to start a maybe a woman's group. Maybe God is telling you to write music. Maybe God is telling you to start a cell group. Like, maybe there's new beginnings for you this month, but you're confronted um by the past. You're confronted by the enemy. You are confronted by the things that want to hold you down and hold you back. And this is such an incredible time period to remember that God has a way out when it looks the like it's the worst. God can turn it around, and he reminded us of that with the sacrifice of Jesus. When the disciples saw what Jesus did, it felt like no hope, because they believed that he was the Messiah.